My name is Matthew Tyson and I'm from Richard Place, Dobson.
What general skills do young people need when starting their first job?
The biggest things we're looking for would be motivation and enthusiasm. We want them to enjoy what they're doing, but they need to have these skills really because they're going to end up dealing with a lot of people in what we do, so people need to buy into their enthusiasm.
What qualifications and experience would a young person need to have increased their chances of getting a job in your sector?
In terms of what qualifications, they need A-levels, that's a minimum entry requirement. In terms of the exact qualifications, that's not too important. We're looking for sort of a broader range of A-levels, for example. A lot of people coming into our profession will have a degree, for example, but it's not mandatory. So maths A-level is always good because what we do with accountancy is very much based around numbers. But apart from that, a nice general spread of A-levels.
Why did you choose to work for this company?
It's interesting because I chose this employer 26 years ago now, and I remember very clearly that what I liked about this particular firm was its size. The firm today employs 34 people. At the time it employed 15, and I also had an opportunity for an interview with a firm that employed something like 10,000 people. What I liked about this firm was a very close, I wouldn't say family, but very personal feel about it. You know, you were quite a big cog in a small machine, and so you were made to feel as though you counted. And I liked that size. And so it's really the size which was a big thing, and the fact that you would get a lot of exposure and a lot of experience very quickly.
What information do you look for on a young person's CV?
First thing we're looking for will be academic grades, and that's because if you're going to be trained to be a chartered accountant, there's going to be a lot of studying involved, and it's going to be a lot of hard work, and you're going to have to study at the same time as holding down a full-time job. So we look at grades as a way of assessing someone's ability to learn. So that's the first thing we look at. So it would be fair to say that you're looking for sort of a spread of A's and B's, for example, when you're looking at A-levels and GCSE results. But we're also looking for anything from a CV that's going to make it stand out. We will get a lot of applicants for a training contract. An accountancy training contract is highly sought after. So anything which demonstrates your ability to work within a group of people, so it might be team sports, might be voluntary work, might be a SATI job, anything which shows your interaction with people, because within a small firm as well, you work very closely with people, not just people inside the firm, but clients. And your ability to work well with people and get people to listen to you and trust you and do what you say or do what you advise is very important. And so a CV can show how well a person can interact with other people. And so we're looking for things like team sports, voluntary sector work, anything like that.
What are the routes into your career? So like A-levels, college, on-job training, apprenticeship, etc.
Okay. These days the minimum entry requirement to get into chartered accountancy is A-levels. And so you'd typically be looking for 3 good A-levels. You can, and a lot of people still do, go into the accountancy profession via a university degree. And that degree doesn't need to be specific to accountancy or business. It could be history. In fact, we've got one trainee at the moment who's come from a degree who did a degree in art. So it's not actually relevant to what we do at all. But A-levels is the basic entry requirement. You can come in from college provided you've got an A-level or similar level qualification via college.
Do people stay in your company and progress, or do they need to move on to go further in their career?
Not one nor the other. Some people do stay on, so I'm an example of that. I trained with the firm right from when I left university. I did a 4-year training contract with the firm, and then I stayed on with the firm after that, and a role opened up which allowed me to develop into. Some people will qualify and then move into industry, for example, or move on to a bigger firm where there is more career progression opportunities. It all depends on how good the person is and how invaluable they make themselves to someone like me, and it also depends upon sort of what opportunities there are about at the time. So if you happen to qualify and then someone that happens to leave who's in the role above you, for example, then that opens up. But if you have 2 or 3 people qualify at the same time, there might not be opportunities for all. So there is the ability to stay on. It's not a requirement that you move on, but it will all depend on the roles available at the time.
Done?
Yeah.
Great.